Hi guys, so some days ago I uploaded a clip of a premier of one of Canada's provinces talk about how his region is hitting back at Donald Trump's tariffs. Well, it seems more and more leaders north of the US border are replying in a similar way. Here's Susan Holt, the premier of the province of New Brunswick, issued her response to Donald Trump. She represents an area where there is significant agriculture, forestry, food processing, oil and shipbuilding done. Now, this follows more threats from Trump to turn Canada into the 51st state. Have a listen.
We have stopped the procurement of goods from U.S. companies. We have looked at replacing service contracts to U.S. companies as well. We're actually going so far as to look at every single engagement with Americans. And there's a look right now at our fleet vehicles and whether we need to sell off the vehicles in our fleet that are from companies that are seeking to do New Brunswickers harm. So everything is being considered. Should the U.S. take their measures further, then Canada will respond accordingly. We have a package of retaliation that's prepared to be deployed. That's about $125 billion worth of goods. And there's things that we can, like has been discussed, there are tools that we can use.
Okay, so a few things to respond to here. So first of all, she mentioned about how there are certain companies that are harming Canadians, and they want to push back on that. So we're probably talking about Elon Musk here, and fleet vehicles, maybe Teslas, something like that, or people within Donald Trump's administration who have businesses in Canada or are trading with Canada. Well, they're going to face sanctions in some way. Now, normally, there are no winners in a trade war, but we're not operating under normal parameters. But I do think in this trade war, Donald Trump and people around Donald Trump stand to benefit in some way. Now, there are a number of ways that this could happen. Donald Trump is a bit like a mafia boss. He's threatening tariffs, getting people to come to visit him, and then maybe negotiating something that benefits him personally. Could be property rights or something like that in these specific countries. It could be loans. It could be anything. Remember, we're talking about somebody who's a bit like a mafia boss. And then the tariffs are lifted. But this is causing massive harm to the US economy. The stock market a few days ago lost the equivalent of the entirety of the Indian stock exchange. All of the benefits, all of the gains that were made over the last number of months were completely wiped out because of Donald Trump's tariffs. Now, somebody is benefiting, of course, from this, because if Donald Trump and his circle are planning to impose tariffs, then somebody knows that the stock market is going to take a hit, and they could short on that. They could profit significantly from this. And of course, it's happening. Now, the problem with this such an approach is that if you keep doing it, you're undermining the US economy on the world stage. And this is undermining US influence on the world stage. So people are not going to invest in the US if you have this chaos. It may benefit Donald Trump. It may benefit a few people around him. But it's harming your average American. It's harming business owners. It's even harming very rich people because they have shares in companies and they're losing money as well. So while Donald Trump may be benefiting personally from this tit-for-tat approach when it comes to tariffs, ordinary Americans are going to suffer. And this can only go on for so long. We hear about having a trade deal with the United States between the UK and the US, and how can you have a trade deal with somebody who's completely unreliable, who's talking about a trade deal and then tariffs? The US and Canada had a trade deal that was actually negotiated by Donald Trump in his last administration. And now he's talking about imposing tariffs on Canada because he's not happy with the trade deal that he's signed. This is somebody you cannot do business with. This is not somebody who's reliable, who should not be anywhere near the levers of power. So Canada is going to respond. This is, of course, going to harm Canadian consumers, but what else can they do? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.